Have you found one diet or like, because it's even I've done, you name a diet, I've probably tried it. For me, it's tough to stick to one thing and to make it easy. You know what I'm saying? You look great shape. I mean, you're always in good shape. You look like probably the best I've seen you.
Yeah, and what I've done is what I talk about in the book, which is keto from morning until dinner. And I'll get my workout in before dinner. So like pretty much all high fat, high fiber, high protein before dinner.
So give us an example of what breakfast would be.
Bone broth, avocado. I love having like some broth because it gets some extra minerals in there too for breakfast. Because you're also, even though I recommend that,
broth.
Never had bone broth. It's amazing. Collagen, protein, really high fat. You get this big thick layer of fat on there. You can season it up with a bunch of stuff. Some avocado. I'll make a smoothie, something. I don't really pay. Breakfast is not the most important meal of the day. It's probably the least important. Sometimes we'll just skip it all together and do that 8-hour feeding window. But yeah, I mean, generally, a little bit of broth as I'm going out the door, half an avocado, and then or a shake. And then for lunch, that's where I just get a much wider variety, like a big ass salad with a bunch of veggies and weird veggies and protein and fats and anything I can get. And then dinner, after I've trained, that's when my glycogen's going to be at the lowest. And that's also, I'll actually hold off. I won't like stuff myself because a lot of the information that's out there is for like bodybuilders. If you want to hit that anabolic window, all right, crush a fucking giant smoothie or something immediately after workout if you want to get big. But most of us don't need that. And the growth hormone response will actually be better if you wait. So I'll wait. I'll hit my workout. I'll go home. I'll have a glass of wine and like really connect and like drop in with wit. And then that one glass of wine, because my blood volume is lower, I'll get a little buzz from that. My liver won't have to filter out all that extra alcohol. So one glass of wine, I'm already feeling loose.
Dick game.
And then have, I'm
trying to follow.
I know. I was trying to follow too.
Man, don't say dick game.
Well, no, I was trying to.
I mean,
red wine is part of the nitric oxide.
This is science.
I know.
We're in science class, and I hear the fucking kid behind me is going, "Dick game's out." And it's just below the fucking frequency.
Well, bro,
dick game's out. What?
He was like, I get home and then I shut
like
down.
The Conjuring, where I hear
connect.
Right,
I put on a robe. I take one glass of wine. We start getting a little tipsy. I'm like, yeah. I didn't even know I said that out loud.
His eyes got heavy.
I was like this. Yeah, and that dick coming out.
I mean,
I'm sorry, man.
You're waiting.
It happens
sometimes. So you have the wine. I'm so sorry.
Well, and then for dinner, I'll layer in the carbs because when I have carbohydrate at night, I actually sleep better. And there's some research behind that. So like staying in ketosis is great for mental clarity, but when I do want to shut it off, it's not the best thing.
What are the good carbs?
Yeah, what do you eat at night?
You want slower carbs, right? So you want to kill as much of those really fast, like quick starches that basically just absorb immediately. So some of the slower carbs, like sweet potatoes are good. Anything with a higher fiber. And when it's mixed with fat, it all slows down. So when it comes to carbs, you just want to slow down the speed. So like processed flour is going to be super fast. Sugar is going to be super fast. And then grains like quinoa that you mentioned, like some of the potatoes.
So you're doing like a fish and like a sweet potato or something, or steak.
Or mashed potatoes. And, and if you're going to do bread, one of the best breads is sourdough because the actual dough gets fermented and it breaks down some of those anti-nutrients. We talk a bit about anti-nutrients in there that upset the stomach. And so you get a nice, loaf of sourdough bread, rip off a chunk, put some grass-fed butter.
You're not scared of carbs.
Not at night. Are. I mean, watch
at night. That's even more of a bro science thing because most bro science. Listen, all my friends are bros, so most of it's like if you're gonna eat carbs, you do it during the day. So hopefully you burn them off that night. You go no carbs. Right. That's what everyone's
so this is kind of that carb backloading approach, which is looking at it differently. And so when your carbohydrates are the lowest, because you've been keto all day, you've been fasting all night, so you haven't had carbs for basically 24 hours. So you're on a 24-hour carb fast, plus you crushed a workout, and then you layer it back on, replenish yourself. And and I'm not going wild, you know what I mean? Just kind of layering enough so that my system gets back to full, I calm back down, and then I just sleep much better and I'm hella relaxed.
What if you work out in the morning though?
If you work out in the morning, then you can still do the same thing. You don't need the carbs immediately.
Word.
The fats and the proteins and everything else will start to help your muscles and everything rebuild. I would still push it to the end. Though if you really if you went on a 3-hour uphill mountain bike ride, maybe you want some carbs. Unless you're fully keto converted.
Yeah.
Then at that point you might not need